Welcome to Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday the 20th of September 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up just a bit today, 0.2% to 8,210 points. ANZ and Wesfarmers were the best of the large caps, ANZ hitting a multi-year high. Telstra was the worst, down more than 1%. In corporate news, Tabcorp chair Bruce Akehurst will step down after major investors expressed concerns about the company's weak performance and rising costs. Tabcorp's share price is down nearly 50% this year. And retailer Harvey Norman was served with a second-class action for misleading and deceptive conduct over the alleged selling of extended warranties days after Ecolaw launched similar proceedings against the company. Today's proceedings were announced by law firm Morris Blackburn. Story number 2, Wall Street hit record levels overnight on the back of the 50 basis point rate cut from the Federal Reserve earlier in the week, with the broad-based S&P 500 finishing up nearly 2%, topping 5,700 points for the first time, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq rose 2.5%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which measures the 30 leaders on Wall Street, also hit a record, topping 42,000 points for the first time. Nvidia, Apple and Meta all jumped sharply, while Tesla rose 7%. Overnight, the Bank of England, as expected, kept interest rates unchanged. During the day, the Bank of Japan kept rates in that economy unchanged. Bitcoins also had a good 24 hours trading at more than $64,000 a unit. The Aussie dollar has held on to recent gains, fetching more than 68 US cents. Story number 3, there was quite a bit going on in federal politics today, even though the Prime Minister was overseas. Opposition leader Peter Dutton rejected costing estimates for the coalition's nuclear power proposal released by Energy Minister Chris Bowen, which suggests it would raise household energy bills by $665 a year. Thus far, the coalition hasn't provided estimates on what its nuclear policy would mean for household spending on energy. Pensioners, job seekers and those on rent assistance will receive a boost to their payments from today, in line with the biannual indexation increase. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth was spruiking the boost in payments today. The increase will impact more than 5 million Australians who receive some sort of government welfare payment. Outgoing NDIS Minister Bill Shorten ramped up the Albanese government's attack on the Greens. This is at the end of a week where it struggled to pass legislation through the Senate. Mr Shorten accused the Greens of living in a parallel universe. And former Xenophon Senator Rex Patrick will make a second tilt at Parliament in the next federal election after he was announced as the Jackie Lambie Network candidate for South Australia. Story number 4, Myer has recorded a sharp drop in sales and a slump in profit for the 2024 financial year. The group said challenging macroeconomic conditions and the closure of its Brisbane, Frankston and Werribee stores led to a 3% drop in sales to almost $3 billion. Net profit after tax fell 28%. That resulted in a big drop in its share price, though by the end of the day, it had pared most of those losses. It finished down 0.5%. Executive Chair Olivia Wirth outlined plans to return the department store to sustainable growth. My Tomorrow, she's calling it, and includes stronger cost controls, cracking down on in-store theft, better use of promotions, and unlocking the full potential of its Myer One loyalty scheme. It will seek to increase customer engagement, especially male and young shoppers, to enhance the loyalty scheme and give Myer a greater share of the wallet. And story number 5, Israel launched a wave of airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon this morning, Australian time, as the militant group's leader said 2 days of attacks on its members involving pagers and walkie-talkies amounted to a declaration of war. In his first public remarks since the device explosions, which killed at least 37 people, Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, acknowledged that his group had endured a severe and cruel blow, according to a report on Reuters and the Telegraph of London. He said Israel would face just retribution and a bitter reckoning, and promised that the attacks would not deter Hezbollah from continuing to launch rockets and drones at Israel. As he spoke, 2 large sonic booms from Israeli fighter jets shook buildings in Beirut, the Lebanese capital, in a parent show of might by Israel. Later in the day, Israeli warplanes struck 30 rocket launchers in southern Lebanon, as well as weapons caches in military structures, the Israel military said. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 20th of September, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the weekend Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.